Hello and welcome to my Django tutorial. Django! But no, not named after that. Good movie though. Actually, Django gets its name from jazz guitarist Django Reinhardt. But this isn't a music tutorial either. Instead, we're here to talk about the Django web framework for Python. Cool, so what's that mean? A web framework is just like some pre-built functionality for the purpose of running a website. As it stands, like Python, you can't just make a website with Python like you can with, like, say, PHP, where PHP is like already up there on the server, and PHP is almost a bit of a web framework itself. So to get Python up onto a web server, and then also to start having it display stuff as you would expect for like a website coding language, some coding is required first. So this is what Django really does for you, and it takes even a few more steps by making specific templates and back-end functionality for all kinds of things like forums and blogs and whatever. Kind of in my mind, the way I think of it is like a really toned down WordPress, right? You're given a bunch of templates to work off of, and you can customize it a lot, and probably easier than you can with something like WordPress. There are other web frameworks. Django isn't the only web framework for Python. It just happens to be the most popular one. The other ones that I can think of right now, like there's like Grok, there's Web2Py, and then there's Flask, and then there's a few others. In terms of ease and lightweightedness, I would say actually Flask is probably the most basic and lightweight one out there. But it just doesn't come with like all the stuff that Django comes with. Like, you're gonna have to code your own stuff. It really is starting with a blank slate. It just makes it. It just comes with a couple of easy ways to put it up on a website. But everything you've got to build yourself. And so that kind of leads us into Django and their philosophy, and really the Python philosophy. Is one, don't repeat yourself, but also if it's already been done, don't redo it again. It's like Java. You do it once and you share it with everybody, right? And so that's really how Django works. Though even like with Flask, for example, there's a ton of add-ons. Like, it comes empty, but there's a ton of add-ons. Just like WordPress comes with, it's just like a freaking blog, right? But you can download a bunch of extensions and stuff. So I might eventually cover development with Flask and a few others, but really Django's the most inclusive one and probably the best documented one, mostly just because a lot of people use it, right? So it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies, So anyway, with that, now that you know the background there, let's hop into installing Django. So what you'll first want to do is head over to your favorite internet browser, which by now ought to be Google Chrome. And what you're going to want to do is I would just search for Django Python or something like that. The website right now is djangoproject.com, so you just click on that, wait a second, get take there. This is the Django website. Now, Django, you're a web framework. I just wish this website looked better. I realize it's mostly just an informative website. I don't know if you guys do a lot of web searching, but a lot of times you'll arrive on like websites that have this exact like green background, and it's like affiliate advertising is all it really is. It's like cash parking. Anyway, this website just turns me off. Sorry, Django. Also, Django, what happened to your original logo? In fact, guys, let me pull up the original Django logo for you guys, because it looks like it's nowhere on their page. And yeah, so I just want to know. I think they're separating themselves from their original logo. Let me pull it up. So what we'll do, we're just going to search Django logo and image search here. And obviously we get some Django Unchained. But, okay, this is the original Django logo. Okay, it was a flying unicorn. Okay, it was pretty badass. And for whatever reason, they've decided to move away from this. So I don't know. Personally, I don't understand it. I think it was really professional, but anyway, this is what you're working with, guys. You're working right alongside this little flying pony unicorn thing. Anyway, so with that, let's go back over to Django. And what we want is to go ahead and download Django. Now, depending on when you're watching this, it's probably Oh, this is an interesting link. Thanks, Django. Um, this is what you want. Um, Now, at the time of me making this 1.5 is the most recent stable version. That you can download like the development version and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just gonna say to everybody, download the stable version. So I'm gonna download this and wait a second. I've got like a few other downloads running, so this is probably gonna go really slow. But actually, I've talked us through the entire download. So once you've downloaded tar.gz, in fact, since I'm on this computer, I don't even think I have 7-zip. So to open this up, we're going to want to pop on over here and download 7-zip so we can take care of this. I hate CNET now, by the way. I don't know if y'all have gone through the little downloader, but I think like people can upload stuff to CNET and decide if they want to use the CNET downloader. But it comes with a bunch of like spyware and stuff. Like, that's really lame. CNET used to be a pretty safe place to download stuff. Now this one's not going to come with their downloader. Maybe they're done with that downloader, because that was pretty lame for a while. I bet a lot of people were angry about that. Download 7-zip if you don't have any way to open up a tar.gz file. Sorry, that probably kicked me off because there's some sort of admin stuff. Anyway, you should download 7-zip if you don't have any sort of way to extract that tar.gz file. So I just went ahead and installed it real quick, and it looks like I've got it now. Yeah, so once you've installed it, that's what 7-zip's going to look like. So let me take this Django, and I'm just going to throw it onto the desktop. And I wonder if I can just open it. Nah, okay. So now I'll just go to open. I guess we'll do it this way. Users, H, desktop, Django, extract, okay. So now we've extracted that to the desktop. Sure enough, it's here. Usually, let's see if we've got it. Yeah, and then we've got this tarball in the distributed file. So we'll just go ahead and take care of that as well. Extract, okay. And it looks like this is what we want right here. I wonder if I can just drag it over. Yep. Okay, so I just dragged that onto the desktop, and let me open that up and see if that's what we want now. Django, and we have a setup.py. Lovely. Okay, so we'll close out of this, and let me minimize this, and let me drag this bad boy over. Okay, so here, it's probably pretty hard to see it on this background. Okay, so here's our Django file. Now when we open it up, the first thing I want to do, just to make it easy, whenever I go to find it, we'll just rename it to Django, open it up, and rename this one to Django as well. I don't think I capitalized either one of them. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, and then within here, what we eventually want to get to is a setup.py file. But to do that, if you haven't already added Python to your path, you won't be able to do this next step. So let me show you how to add Python to your path if you have not. Go ahead and, oops, this is not where I want to be. Go into your system settings. So, there's like a million ways to do that. You can go to Control Panel, System, and then System, and I think we want Advanced System Settings. Eventually you want to arrive at System Properties. The next thing you want to do is open up Environment Variables. So I'll click that, and then under System Variables, click down, down, down until you get to Path. And what you want to do is edit that path and go to the very end of that path where you see here I've got Python 27, and I've also got Python and scripts. This right here is what you need to add to the end of your path. It's two paths, really. We've got C:\/ Python 27, or wherever your Python directory is, and then also add C:\/ Python 27 and scripts. This just makes it so when you go to launch something with Python, like from your command prompt, for example, this makes it able to happen. So with that, once you've done it, just hit apply and OK and all that, and we'll close out of our system properties. And now let's pop over to a command prompt. Surely you know how to get to your command prompt, but just type in CMD in your search thing if you don't know. And now, so I'm on C users H, and I put Django on my desktop, so I'm going to CD into desktop, CD into the Django folder, and then as you can see, it's Django, so I'm going to CD into Django one more time. And now I'm in there, and there's my setup.py. So now what I want to do is do Python setup.py and then install. Hit enter, and zoom goes a bunch of installation. And we wait. And it looks like we're done now. So hopefully when we go to a command line for Python now, this isn't cmd.exe, this is a Python command line. To test our install, let's import Django. And if it doesn't scream at you, you've done everything right.